What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy Stocks back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me pull up the chart here in just a second. And hit record. We will get right into it. So Apple with another small red day, down 1.5%, about $1.98. Compare that to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq was a little bit red, down 0.12%. The Dow was down about 52.17%. And then S&P 500 was down $1.21, which is 0.32%. So this is OPEX week, guys, which means that there could be more movement in stocks, right, depending on how big money is playing this. So just something to keep in mind as you're trading today and tomorrow. Things could get kind of funky really fast. Look at the SPY sell-off kind of in that half hour. Same with Dow and Nasdaq, right? So just something to keep in mind as you're pushing forward. A little piece of news, and then we'll get right into the stock, is Apple invested $10 million in venture capital firm focused on diverse founders. So we saw yesterday their investment that they're making in Detroit around diversity as well, an additional investment that we see here. So great move by Apple. Like I said in yesterday's video, it's not just important to be a company that produces great products and has great earnings. In today's time and age, right, the social aspect of it carries a lot of weight as well, and it's great to see kind of Apple stepping up to the plate in that regard. So taking a look at where we closed yesterday, right, we were in the 130.88. We talked about this 130 level of support, or if we saw a little bit of a push up. So clearly we were down in pre-market, right? We bounced off this 130s level, pushed up, but then right out of the gate, what we saw was a little bit of a sell-off. Initially we found support here, pushed up to VWAP, rejected support, rejected. So basically got squeezed down, right? Because the VWAP was right there. Broke down below this 130.20s level, dropped all the way to 129.60, pushed up, couldn't quite make it through VWAP. Went down, came up again, this time made it through VWAP and this level. Then we bounced off of VWAP, pushed up, bounced off this level, came up, and then sold off. Tried to make another push up towards our level right there. I zoomed out because I want to really show this in kind of a zoomed out way. Last time we made a push, and that was at 130 kind of 20s before we sold off all the way to 128.78, and now we are at 128.91, a little up after hours in the low 129s. So what is going to happen in the future? Let's take a look at our daily chart and we'll kind of see what we can find. So this was a time when Apple was selling off. Then we saw a little bit of a reversal happen for a couple days there. And then we talked about, hey, I think we see it run into earnings, because earnings is supposed to be pretty good for Apple, right? This is the first time when, their iPhone wasn't released in September. So not only do we have the holiday sales numbers in the previous quarter, we also have those initial iPhone 12 orders, which, as you guys know, the iPhone 12 is the first 5G iPhone, right? So expecting this run to continue, potentially making a move towards all-time highs and breaking out of that and pushing even higher, right? But we saw some news around, first of all, the Democrats winning, which caused a little bit of an issue in the laws and regulations that were going to come towards big tech like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and those tech giants of the world. The other news is the App Store removing Parler, and that raises a lot of questions about how much power they have. So a lot of kind of questions have clouded that run into earnings that we were originally going to have. I still hold that we see that coming in the next couple of weeks for now, until I'm given a reason not to believe in that. But, we'll kind of see how that holds. So let's take a look at, what the stock's been doing. So after those 3 days, we saw a little bit of a sell-off, bounce off of this 126 level that we had, which also was the 34 EMA, pushed up, and now we are, we were above the 21 and the 8 EMA yesterday, but we're now again below that. That's not something that, I like seeing. I like a stock to be ideally above the 8 EMA, but, for sure using the 21 EMA as a bounce point. But we saw a decent amount of sell-off. If you take a look, 129.08 is the number we were looking for. That's kind of the number we're at right now. So it just depends on, come tomorrow if we're able to kind of capture that level or not. So let's take a look at what happens if we push up. I think if we push up, the first thing we have to knock out is this 130 level, right? 130.20s level. That's sort of the first level that I'm looking at to see if the stock can have enough momentum to break through that. Then I'm watching these, since we made a lower high today than yesterday, I'm watching the high of today at 131. Then I'm watching this 131.45 level. Then I'm watching this level at 132.63 before the 133.45. So after we get through the 130, really the next level that I'm looking at is 133.45, because that's a level that we've identified where a lot of consolidation happens, rejection happens, support happens. But these little marks along the way will help us kind of see, okay, we're higher than yesterday's high, next step this, before we're going to get to this level where I think could see a little bit more of a challenge trying to break through. On the downside, since we are right here, right, we're below the 21 EMA. If we open above the 21 EMA, I'd ideally like to see that hold, but typically we see sell-offs right at the get-go. So if we are, right at 21 or right above 21, I think we will break below 21 EMA. The next point I'm looking at is this 34 EMA right at 127.23. 127.23 doesn't hold, then I'm looking at this 126.65, and then if we keep selling off, the 55 EMA is at 124, right? So 127.23, well, first things first, 21 EMA, hopefully we're above that, but if that doesn't hold, 127.23, 126.65, 124 next, and then this 123's level. Earnings is in less than 2 weeks, right? 13 days away, 127. I do think we still see a run in earnings. I'm hoping for that to start next week. But we'll kind of see. I'm hoping for a push towards all-time high and hopefully making new all-time highs. Hopefully this isn't a double top and it's more of a cup and handle. But we'll kind of see as we get closer to that. But I do think a run is coming. I'm not buying anything yet. I do continue to hold my Apple shares, have some put spreads, but I'm not planning on holding anything for the time being, right? For the short term until I get a sense that run has started. First of all, that run's even happening, and two, that run has started. I'm totally fine with being a little late to the game. I'm totally fine with, entering it at 133 for a push towards 136 or 138, then entering it now for a push towards this 130, and then it goes the opposite way and I lose money, right? I like to look at myself as more of a high conviction trader. So I speculate less and I rely more on the technicals and rely more on these lines and rely more on the confirmation before I go into a trade. You can make a ton of money not doing that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if you're just buying Apple calls right now, you're doing the wrong thing. You can probably make a ton of money, right? Let me just say that out there. But I like to look for that reversal. I like to look for my, kind of thesis of, hey, I think if we break 130, we're pushing towards 133. If we do break 130, start making a push towards 133, and we're not seeing weakness, I'll probably hop on and look to put on a call or a debit spread. But continuing to hold my shares because I am bullish on Apple long term. So I hope you guys found that video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys and all the support you guys show me. It really means a lot. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.